I'm going to do a trial can with the black paint and the glitter. And I figure as long as I got the black paint out, I might as well paint the words Bora Bora on this crate. This is a crate we got for free when we got all the scrap pallet wood. And I thought I'll put the name on there, some kind of tropical destination. And I might as well try that too. So I made a stencil. I in fact left this crate sitting outside all winter long so that it would weather even more than it was weathered before. So I'm getting the streaking here in the nails, and the wood that was even more newer looking has turned darker. And this is the way I want it to look. I drew out a stencil, some letters. I'm trying to make it look like kind of an army script. And I'm going to be putting that on the side here and taping it off with some newspaper. Okay, when I got it centered about where I want it, and trying to make it even because I have to do this stencil twice on here. The reason I'm doing these cans, first of all, is because the bar is all made of recycled items, and I saw someone who used cans for the edge of a bar. Now their cans were done in a different manner. I believe theirs were done horizontally. I'm using these up and down. Those were coated. They had them coated so much that you couldn't even tell they were cans anymore. But I don't care if they look like cans, but I want them to match the cabinet that I did. The first project I did, which was an old cabinet from the 1890s. Let me show you what I mean. Looking over the back of the bar here, this was my first project from last summer, and this was an 1890s kitchen cabinet. It had been removed from a kitchen when a house had been renovated in the 1950s, and it had been stored in the basement for many years. Then my family brought it here, and my mom made it into a toy cabinet. She had just painted a kind of very, very shiny oil-based lacquer paint over all the other layers of paint that had been on it and turned it into a toy cabinet. It sat in the basement here for a long time, many years, like 40 years, and it got ruined. There had been a back put on it of some masonite, and it just got all ruined and bad. The wood was good, but the masonite got bad. So I stripped the whole thing down, primed it, sanded it, primed it again, and gave it several coats of this lava rock color. And then I got a yard of fabric, and I Mod Podged it on the doors to give it a little something, because you know, a tiki room is neat, but you need a little color in it. You have the colored lights, and maybe a little contrast with some of the natural wood colors. So I want the edge of the bar to kind of have a little color in it and be also a black color like this, sort of to complement this cabinet. Fine beach sand. I went and got some sand at the beach. I had Mod Podge left over from the cabinet that I just showed you, and I've been collecting these tomato soup cans for a long time now. What I want to do is get the cans that are black but with a tiny bit of sparkle in them. I want them to kind of look like mother of pearl, like a black abalone mother of pearl, and I'm going to add a little glitter to them. But first I want to get a little texture on these cans so they don't look quite so stark. Up here is to just Mod Podge these cans with some of this Mod Podge I had left over. So we're just going to rub some of that on it with a rag. Alright, we're going to coat that whole can on the sides with the Mod Podge. And then I'm just going to roll it in the beach sand here. Now, gluing stuff to metal is not always so easy, but I'm thinking the Mod Podge will work. So there it is, coated with the sand. Now I'm going to let that dry out in the sun, and whatever sand falls off, then I'm going to kind of give it a brush with a little paintbrush so that the loose sand falls off and the glued sand remains. Now if it's not perfect, that doesn't matter either. So I'm probably not going to use the pink or the orange, but I might stick to the purples, blues, and greens for this. So after letting it dry thoroughly for about 4 days, brushed it off to make sure there was no loose sand on it. Now I'm going to paint it black. I'm using a polyacrylic polyurethane because it cleans up with water, and this is an indoor thing, and it's not going to be getting a lot of use in washing it or anything, these cans, so this works well and it's easy to clean up. It's a milky liquid, and as they tell you on the can, do not shake the can up to mix it. You want to stir it with a stick. This is a very good reason for this. If you shake this up, or even if you drop the can accidentally and it rolls around before you open it, you can get little air bubbles in this. And when you paint it onto something, those air bubbles can remain embedded in the polyurethane. So we don't want to agitate it by shaking it. We just want to give it a little stirring. And I put a little bit in a shot glass. I'm going to add some glitter to it. So let's add a little teal glitter. Now this is just a test. If it works out, I'll just put the glitter directly into the can. Let's put a little green. Can we get this out here? A little green in there. A little teal. I have teal in there, Ray. Just a little more teal. And let's go with a little cobalt blue. A little cobalt in there, and a little bit of purple, and let's stir that up. Alright, let's give it a little stir here. Now it's milky colored, but it dries clear. I wasn't sure if I should get the gloss polyurethane. That costed a little more. So I got the satin. Okay, so let's coat this. Here's the black can with the sand and the paint. And let's give that a coating of this. I also am testing it out to see how much I need for each can. So this little shot glass hopefully will cover this whole can. You're only going to see one side of this can when it's on the bar edge, but I'm doing the whole can. Just in case the can gets wrecked on the front in some manner, I can always turn it around then and use the opposite side of it. I can't see how it would get wrecked, but who knows. Okay, so I used up most of that, so I know about how much I need per can. And there's the can, and let's let it dry and see what it looks like. And these cans took about almost a tablespoon each of polyurethane. So since there's 16 tablespoons in 1 cup, I'm going to need about 3 cups to finish the rest of these cans. I've got all the cans set out here, but after I put the polyurethane on, I want to put them on something that I'm not going to ruin the surface of. This is a ping pong table I'm working on, but I don't want to use newspaper either because it'll stick to the newspaper and you'll have newspaper embedded. Now I want to do it all at once, so I'm going to measure out about 3 cups of this. Now I said it cleans up with water and it's been stirred up. So I'm going to get 3 cups in here and then I'm going to add the glitter in there. Now, the reason I'm doing this, I could have mixed it right in the can, but I've got about a 1/4 can left of this stuff used for another project, so I do not want to make too much of it because it's going to have the glitter in it. So I'm putting in a little of the glitter that I bought, and then I'm going to add some of the other colors. Just give a shake in there. And I'm going to stir it up. Now I'm trying to match the amount that I had in the samples. There's a little purple in there. And we'll get some of this teal and this other blue. There's this nice cobalt blue. A little of that in there. And I'm going to stir it up and see how it looks. I don't want them like coated crazy with glitter so it looks like some kind of a unicorn bar. But I want to have enough glitter so that it shines in the dark. So I'm going to give it a good stir up here. You can kind of tell how much glitter you got in there by bringing up a stick and seeing how much glitter is sticking into the polyurethane. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint each can with this mixture. Now if it didn't turn out to be enough glitter, I could give it another coat with more glitter. After each can I give it a stir to keep that glitter in the solution here so it doesn't all settle to the bottom. And I'm doing this right over the container here so that anything that drips off is still usable. There's no point in wasting it and having it falling onto the newspaper below.